The state Senate will meet in extraordinary session next month after the election to consider a plan to help Kimberly Clark, even as another Republican senator announces his opposition to it. The plan, supported by Governor Walker and previously passed by the Assembly, is a $100 million package. It would help keep the consumer products company in the Fox Valley, where it currently employs around 600 people. The package has run into some resistance in the Senate, with Senator Dave Craig of Big Bend, the Republican, becoming the latest GOP member to oppose it. That virtually guarantees votes from Democrats will be needed if it's to pass. And we're talking about this and more today with Republican Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald. Good to have you back on the program.
Good to be here.
So a lot going on with Kimberly Clark right now.
There is. Yep.
But the first question is, if it's such a good package, why not vote on it now? Why wait until after the election?
Just the dynamic of the election. I mean, all you have to do is turn on your TV set and you're going to be inundated with political ads. That environment isn't necessarily conducive to trying to bring together people from both sides of the aisle to try and pass a piece of legislation. So the governor and myself met with Tom Falk, the CEO, also talked to some of the union leadership. And, you know, we saw a little bit of light there as to whether or not Kimberly Clark could actually wait until after the November election. Senator Roger Roth was instrumental. He was kind of the conduit between all the parties, and they were willing to do that. So I give a lot of credit to Kimberly Clark and the union for saying, we understand this. It's a tough environment. You know, they were hoping they could have pulled this thing together in late spring. That didn't happen, and then suddenly in July it kind of came together. So everybody's, I think, being reasonable, and as a result of that, I think we're in a good spot.
You've had at least 3 Republican colleagues come out and say, I can't support this legislation. Are there likely to be more?
Yeah, Senator Schilling and Senator Bewley voted for the extraordinary session this week on that ballot, and so I'm hopeful that means that they're supportive of it. Listen, I got to still answer to my own members, and we'll have that discussion, I think, in the next couple of weeks prior to the actual November election. But I think some valid points have been made, and I think people are they're optimistic about trying to pull this all together.
Is this a plan that's on the table? Is this a plan that keeps one plant open, closes a plant, or is it something other than that at this point?
Right now the focus is on Cold Springs. That's the plant that the governor and I toured, a number of other legislators have. It's very unique to North America, the products that they make there, consumer products, and as a result of that, that's really been the focus, is to keep the Cold Springs plant open, and it sounds like we're going to be able to get that done.
And would it be in its current configuration, or is there a chance, do you believe there's a chance that it could be something more if it's kept open?
Yeah, I don't want to get carried away, but there sounds like there's a little bit of discussion that actually, if all this comes together, that Kimberly Clark could actually probably increase their footprint a little bit in Wisconsin. The goal is always to keep those highly skilled workers there in the Cold Springs plant right now.
500 of them or so?
500 or so jobs, and it looks like we're going to be able to pull that off. So far it's all good news, and like I said, I got to give credit to Roger Roth. He's been the conduit throughout this whole process.
Let's talk about the November elections and your take. We had the Senate Minority Leader, Jennifer Schilling, on this show a few weeks ago. I want to get your view of how the election cycle is unfolding. At the end of the day, you have an 18-15 majority now. At the end of the day, do you think you will retain that?
Yeah, I do. 18-15. I think we got a shot at coming back at 19 seats. I think we get the first Senate seat with Andre Jacques,
northeastern part of the state.
Yeah, Green Bay, Door County, that area. That's one that's been very tight in all the polling that we've seen. But I think we've got the right message up there, and really across the state, whether it's southwestern Wisconsin with Howard Markline, we've got Kathy Bernier, sitting Assemblywoman, running in the Eau Claire area in the 23rd. Dale Kooyenga, a lot of talk about the suburbs of Milwaukee, but everything I've seen on Dale and everything that he's doing right now, I think positions him well to win that seat in November.
Are you concerned about the previous special elections in the state where Democrats flipped traditionally Republican seats? We had the nonpartisan partisan Supreme Court race where Rebecca Dallett beat Michael Skrenik. That was perceived as sort of a Democrat versus Republican race. Doesn't that concern you?
I think anybody that knows anything about politics knows those races are a completely different animal than what you're looking at in November. The turnout right now in Wisconsin, I think, with the U.S. Senate race, a gubernatorial, the AG's race, all these statewide races, as well as much focus has been put on the congressional races out in D.C. and by President Trump. The turnout is going to be through the roof, and that's a whole different...
You feel Republican voters are motivated? They're energized right now?
I do, and I think the Kavanaugh stuff has increased that. We're seeing it already. There's absolutely a bump for the Republican intensity over the last week as a result of the Kavanaugh testimony and hearings. So, no, I think that all gels at the right time, and because of that, I think we absolutely come back in the majority.
Scott Fitzgerald is the Senate Majority Leader. It's always good to have you on the program. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
Coming up next on Up Front, a political rift in the family. I'll be asking congressional candidate Randy Bryce why his brother is cutting ads for his opponent.